Hey, yo, what's up? It's Smooth.
Vaughn.
This is Riggs.
And Slick Money.
And you are now listening to the
Switch Style Podcast.
I fought for this album so much to the point where I think I kind of got on people's nerves. But I've been doing this for 12 years. And I grew up around nothing but music. Everybody on my father's side sings. First cousins Casey and JoJo. We started in the church. So that means I love music across the board, not just gospel, but R&B, pop, rock, jazz, country. I have a country song on my album. Because I said, I'm not going to allow anybody to put me in a box anymore. How are you going to tell me what to sing and how to sing it if I'm the artist? Right? It's weird. It's almost like, if I'm the artist, as soon as I come in, you want to tell me what the look should be, what the sound should be, then that means you're prostituting my gift and I'm not the artist anymore. You're telling me what to be, what to do. I couldn't do it anymore. You see what I'm saying? So there were times where I was in the studio and I would tell them, if I can't do it, then I quit. And when I say that, people are like, yeah, right. I'm like, yo, I'm serious. Because it's a lot out here. I sacrifice a lot. I'm away from my children. I'm away from my family. Every day you got to worry about if they're saying something good, something bad. So if I'm going to do it, let me do it my way.
Welcome to the Switch Style Podcast. I'm your host, Smooth, and on episode 19, Gucci earns a big debut, Angie Stone returns, and we review Fantasia's The Definition Of. But before we jump into anything, let's introduce the crew. Vaughn, what's up?
What's up, Smooth? How are you?
Good. Glad to see you.
Good to see you, too. Always good to be here.
I see you brought the crew with you.
Yeah, had to bring them out tonight.
Okay, cool. Glad to see everybody in the penthouse tonight.
Mama Vaughn. Looking good.
Yeah, she
now,
looks
the
amazing.
apple don't fall far from the tree.
Yeah, I'm sure
Yes,
all the...
Lord. Come on, Mama.
And audience, she's taken, so...
Yeah, she's taking
I know y'all still after Vaughn, but Mom is taken.
Cat Lady's available, and Mama's taken. Yeah, everybody in the world gonna know you Cat Lady. But I'm drawing your attention.
That's not her name.
No, that's not her name. Yeah, that's just an inside joke for the show only. But I'm gonna get you a husband. Watch what I tell you. You gonna thank me later.
She giving him the evil eye.
The spaghetti eye. That's the spaghetti
eye.
Yeah.
But next on the panel, my man Riggs. What's up, Riggs?
What's going on, everybody?
Good. Glad to see you.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
Like always.
Looking like Steph Curry.
Wow.
I don't look like somebody.
I don't know why. Every episode,
it's a new dude.
I look like a different light skinned dude.
They keep texting me talking about who Riggs gonna be this week. Steph Curry.
Wow.
Yes.
Well,
next week could be somebody else. But everybody's name is handsome though. You ain't toe up.
I can dig it.
See, I'm toe up. You handsome.
I'll stop playing.
Wow.
Come on, I'm keeping it 100.
You don't believe that?
Out of all the men in here, I'm the one toe up. Everybody else is extremely handsome.
Wow. Well, and last but not least, he said to himself, audience, the least handsome man in the studio.
Did he have to say that?
What's up, Slick?
What up, nephew?
Glad to see you. As
Your
always.
nephew is real handsome. He was glad to say that speech about his uncle.
No.
But he don't understand. I'm older. Older should get uglier. Younger should be handsome. He gonna get ugly at some point. Keep living.
Like you the Sean Connery of the show.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
He don't get ugly.
No, I'm the most interesting dude.
The most interesting man on the show.
That is
Slick
correct.
Money.
How y'all doing?
Glad to see you.
Good to see you. House
Yeah.
full of mamas here, the children here, the grandchildren here, the daughters in the penthouse. We just got other nephew in the house.
Yeah.
Boy, it's getting packed.
Yeah, it's getting packed. Uh-oh.
Somebody let Stevie Wonder in.
I'm gonna bow out of this conversation because LaWanna, I didn't do it. You heard it. Your Slick started every week, so LaWanna, it was not me.
When are we gonna do a show just for Stevie only?
Soon, coming very soon.
Do that because he got a lot of music to talk about.
Yeah, we do. But before we jump into anything, audience, we do want to let you know that first voice you heard was actually Fantasia's, and it was an interview that she did with AOL Build, and for the most part, well, you heard the interview, but she discusses the process of going about making The Definition Of and the struggle or the fight that she had to go through with the label to make the album that she wanted. And we'll actually get into that later. But before we check out what's on the charts, if you like what you hear, remember to follow us on SoundCloud.com/Switch Style Podcast. You can also check us out on Facebook
Instagram.
and
Twitter.
all right. So, guys, let's give them a quick update on the charts. So, here we go. On the Billboard 200, Drake earns a 12th week at number 1, earning 85,000 equivalent album units.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah, I know that's your boy. And also, Gucci Mane's Everybody Looking debuts at number 2 on the Billboard 200, earning 68,000 units, and 43,000 of those were actually traditional album sales. And Everybody Looking is also Gucci's highest charting album on the Billboard 200. His previous high was 2010's The Appeal, Georgia's Most Wanted, which peaked at number 4. So any quick thoughts on the Billboard 200?
Drake just doing his thing. Just
Yeah, he
keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Yeah, he is doing his thing. And a few more notes on a few albums we actually talked about a week ago. Keith Sweat, whom we reviewed, Keith Sweat actually debuted at number 34 on the Billboard 200.
Okay.
Oh, that's not bad for an
Mhm.
R&B dude.
Yeah, I don't have an exact number, but on the Billboard R&B albums chart, Beyonce scored, well, she sold 26,000 units this week. So, and Keith Sweat was number 2 under her, which leads me to believe Keith Sweat probably sold between 14 to 15,000, maybe.
Very disappointing to have
Yeah.
your own show, music show, and you only sell 12,000, 15,000 albums. The bootlegger's gonna have to help it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are. So, congratulations, Keith Sweat and Hezekiah Walker. His new album, Better, Azusa, The Next Generation 2, debuted at number 88.
Oh, okay.
It was the number 1 gospel album. Stephen Raga Marley, Revelation Part 2, The Fruit of Life, debuted at number 129, the number 1 reggae album, and an album that I'm really excited about and I want to hear, and it really crept in on me. I kind of slept on it. Tigalero by Fonte and Eric Roberson. So for all of you deep R&B fans who love R&B,
R&B, neo
Yeah.
soul.
Fonte and Eric Roberson, they did put out an album which debuted at number 8 on the R&B albums chart. They didn't make the Billboard 200. So congratulations to all of them. And we'll actually jump on to the Hot 100. So Cheap Thrills earned the 2nd week at number 2. And Cheap Thrills, which is by Sia, of course, Sia and Sean Paul. And also Major Lazer, debuts at number 2 with Cold Water, featuring Justin Bieber and Mo. So congratulations to all of them. Any quick thoughts?
Just jump right into Fantasia.
Okay, cool. Well, one more thing.
What's
we
new?
got one new album. Yeah, what's new? But before we jump into what's new, if you like what you hear, remember to follow us on SoundCloud.com/Switchstyle Podcast. You can also follow us on Facebook
Instagram.
and Twitter.
Okay.
And this week we only have one new album for you, and it's actually by R&B star Angie Stone. She's back with her 8th solo album titled Covered in Soul. On the album, she covers a versatile set of her favorite classics, including songs from The Undisputed Truth, The 5 Stair Steps, Hot Chocolate, and Phil Collins. So, congratulations, Angie Stone, and
That's my girl. I can't wait to hear that.
yeah. So
I'm
we
looking forward to it.
and we might actually review it next week. So we'll find out next week. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our Fantasia album review. And I know everybody's excited about it. Riggs is smiling. Vic is on his phone. Vaughn is smiling as well. So Vic actually Slick just got up and left. So I don't think he likes the album. But we'll go ahead and jump into it. So but before we do, before we do any review, we want to give a quick bio on the artist.
Right.
Just in case the audience don't know who she is. And so Fantasia Monique Barrino was born June 30th, 1984. She's 32 years old in High Point, North Carolina. She rose to fame after winning the 3rd season of American Idol. She is currently signed to RCA Records and is releasing her 5th album, the one we're reviewing, titled The Definition Of. Fantasia has also enjoyed a career as a Broadway star, starring in The Color Purple and After Midnight. In 2010, Fantasia scored a Grammy Award for Best Female R&B Vocal Performance for Bittersweet. And recently, she just completed her tour with fellow R&B star and North Carolina native Anthony Hamilton. So, we'll go ahead and jump into it. And Bun, I'll throw it to you first. What were your initial impressions of the album?
Well, I'm a Fantasia fan,
Mhm.
so I really loved it. I think she gave a good variety country, her blues. She gave you all types of different versatility. So I think she did an awesome job. I'm glad she did what she wanted to do.
Okay.
And delivered it how she wanted to deliver. She's stepping in some new ground.
Well, Riggs, I'll go ahead and throw it to you. What were your thoughts?
Oh, quite similar. You know, a good eclectic mix on one album. Man, that she comes with soul. It's produced well and engineered very well. Everything is sonically vivid. I really like it. I wasn't sure what to expect because I'll be 100% honest. Like, I've listened to her music on the radio, but I've never really sat and listened to a whole Fantasia album. But that may be a good thing because I don't have any prejudice.
Okay.
When it comes to that, but yeah, I thought it was real good.
Okay.
I liked it.
Slick, what were your thoughts?
Actually, to me, this is her. To me now,
Okay, yeah, it's
her
go
worst album. to
Wow.
me, out of all the other four, but this is her fifth album.
Right.
So the other four, I think, having artist control is a good thing at some point or some stage in your career, but I think you still have to have those producers that gives you those mega hits, that mega sound, that mega hook. All those things sell albums. Now, I don't know how many albums she's gonna sell, but if I'm gonna grade this album, I give her a C-. But I think the other ones, like, oh my God, the first two just classics. But like you said, artists are trying to take full control. But that's why everybody's ear is different. What I like, you might not like. I think the country style, I know who does that. I heard a rock song. I mean, I heard a song like bluegrass. She just was all over the place to me. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you're getting away from what you did that got you there.
Okay.
And that's my whole point, what I'm saying. So a C- to me, it could be an A to Vaughn or an A to Reeves, which is fine. Because I was saying it about Drake, and y'all were like, yeah. But he's still selling 3 million. She ain't going to do 3 million. We know that. So that's my point. So I'm just saying, to whoever is a fan, they probably going to love the album. I'm a fan, but I just thought she could have did better. Me personally.
Okay. Yeah, no,
but if you want to get down to favorite songs, I do have something I like, so I don't know if you want to talk about that now or later.
Well, we'll go to that in a second.
Sure.
So Vaughn, let me ask you this. I know you're a Fantasia fan. At this point in her career, what do you think it is that she's trying to accomplish? What were her goals in your mind?
I think she was just trying to accomplish not being stuck in a box of the same old, delivering the same type of music, showing that how versatile she is, that she can go rock, she can go country, she can go blues. I mean, she sounded like Tina Turner to one of the songs to me. Like, she went all over the place. And I think that's good because some people, you get tired of hearing them singing about the same stuff, being the same way. And she took it all over the board. And that's good. And and people so used to people being the same and hearing the same stuff, but it's good for an artist to be creatively. It's good to be creative.
And there she is on this album. And Riggs, let me ask you this question. At this point in her career, where do you think she is at this point?
I think she's in a solid place.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you get to a certain point in your life in general, you mature, you know exactly what you want to do. You know the direction. When you're younger, you know somewhat. You got things you want to accomplish. But as you get older, sometimes to know what you don't want is as important as knowing what you do want. So her not wanting to be a carbon copy and just sing the same old. One thing I do appreciate about the album is the lyrics, the writing. Everything is from the heart. It's true, and you can feel it. It isn't contrived at all. I like it a lot. So I mean, that's what she is, I believe.
And Slick, considering the complete state of R&B, we've reviewed Keith Sweat, we reviewed Maxwell, Corinne Bailey Rae, K. Michelle has put out an album this year, Beyonce, Rihanna, Chrisette Michelle, among many others. Considering everybody in R&B, where does she fit in your opinion?
You talking about females or males
Just
in general?
The genre in general. Males aren't females. If you had to, just your opinion.
I mean, she holds her own. I mean, she's a talent. You can't even take that from her. Like I said, this wasn't her best album to me. That doesn't knock her out of the group of great artists.
Right.
I think she's she stays where she is. But you got to remember, there's a bunch of people ahead of her too. You know, when you're talking about the K. Michelle's, you're talking about. I think you can't get away from the recipe that got you success. People get there and change, but they fall off. To me, if you stay what you're doing, just like riding a horse that got you there, you can't switch horses when you get to where you got to go. Continue to do what got you there. And I just think, you know, I mean, she's a talent. She's gonna what really I think she's messing up to me is I think she should do a full gospel album because that's her roots. And I think every time she puts an album out, she put an amazing gospel song on there. And I truly believe that's really who she is. You know, how many albums can you make about your man messing over you? Or I'm tired of you dogging me out. I mean, them songs just repetitious.
Well, she's definitely leaning in the right direction.
Yeah, I think she is too. She maturing that way.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, man, I think she stayed where she is because there are a lot of other good female artists out there. But if you're going to make the money, I guess you're going to have to make the change. But folks going to have to buy your album, Jay. Yeah, you're right. And it's just that simple. I think she got to cross over to the pop side because, quote unquote, don't get mad, Caucasians buy albums. Black people bootleg albums.
Right.
Let's just keep it 100. You know, on this show, we keep it real.
Yeah.
They're going to respect you for coming and listening to Switch Style because we don't lie.
Right.
African Americans don't buy albums. Black people bootleg. White people buy albums.
Right.
That's why people keep thinking hip hop going to fade away because the white kids in the suburbs are buying the albums. Mm-hmm. Black kids are downloading them for free. It's just that simple. So she going to have to cross over to those pop songs like the Meghan Trainor, the Swift Taylors. You got to get those pop songs, the club bangers, and people going out buying your album because white people spend the dollar because they can afford it.
So what I'm gathering from everything, so she's pretty much, well, not stays in her lane, but she maintains her status as one of R&B's important artists, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
But the album doesn't elevate her to
that is
next
correct.
level.
Absolutely.
Okay, so she doesn't go any lower.
I guess not.
Okay.
So she stayed, like you said, in her lane, but the car kind of went over a little bit, and the police flashed his lights, and she got back in her lane again.
Okay.
If you want to put that like in a, a scenario type thing. But she's still who she is. She still can sing.
Yeah.
We're not knocking that. She can sing. This is just a different album. And I'm curious to see how many units she really does sell in the next 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, I agree. And next we'll jump into some favorite songs. But before we do, I did want to give you guys my take.
Please do. Please.
And
put your seatbelt on.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And Vaughn actually, she alluded to it, and audience, you heard the interview clip before we came on. Like Vaughn said, this is the album that she wants to make. And when I first looked at this album, the title of it, I was a bit confused by it. It puzzled me, and until I actually listened to the album, it didn't come together. So the title of the album is The Definition Of. And for me, there's a lot of irony in the title. When you say definition, it means that you're defining something. You're making a definite statement. It's something that's solid, that's complete. And in my opinion, what she was trying to get across is that she can't be defined. There's no definition to what it is that she did, what it is that she does, or what it is that she's capable of doing, which resulted in the versatile set of songs. Now, I think this is a rare case where Fantasia is good at just about everything, but on this particular album, she doesn't excel at just one thing, in my opinion. She's so good at everything else, and this is the album that she wants to make, but on this album in particular, it hurt her, in my opinion. So with the title, The Definition Of, she was pretty much saying that like Vaughn said, you can't box me in. You can't pigeonhole me into being this particular artist. And I mean, this is an artist who, we said it earlier, she started off in American Idol, and people have been telling her for years, this is what you have to sing, this is what producers you're going to work with, these are the writers that's going to write for you. And so a lot of people probably don't know the backstory behind the album, but she alluded to Fantasia herself. That's what I'm talking about. She mentioned a producer that she started the album with, and she didn't come out and say it herself, but in her interview with Vogue magazine, they mentioned that she started with R. Kelly on the album. And R. Kelly does, audience, R. Kelly does produce Sleeping with the One I Love. It's a very theatrical track, and it's reminiscent of what her work on Broadway. So this album could have been very different if R. Kelly produced it. I'm not saying it would have been better or worse, but those were just my initial impressions. But Riggs, what were some of your favorite songs?
I like So Blue.
Yes, I like that.
I definitely like that song. I think actually my opinion on where she did excel was with her writing and conveying how things really go in real life and how it affects each person involved with each situation. And that was definitely one when it first starts off, you hear it and you think it's going one way, and then it kind of goes in another. And I like the fact that she goes about explaining or talking about certain issues in a little different way than most of us do, especially with the like the country song
Ugly.
Ugly. I thought she did that very well in that song. I was actually expecting not to like that song, but I actually liked it.
Right. Yeah, you listen to it grow on you.
Yeah, it was written by Nicole Gallion, who's written for Miranda Lambert. Any country fans out there?
And When I Met You, that's a dope song as well.
Yeah, it
I
is.
mean, I liked everything. The songs, I guess, I didn't vibe with as much, or probably Roller Coaster. And
See, I saw Vaughn shaking her head.
right, and Wait for You was cool, but the musicality wasn't kind of what I would have wanted for that song.
Was it just not on par with the rest of everything else, or?
It was just, it'll resonate with a different crowd,
Okay.
just not myself. So I think that about a couple of songs that are on here, that they're good. They're not good for me, but I can listen to it and tell, for these over here, oh, that's gonna work, which is another reason I kind of like, the album.
Vaughn, what were some of your favorite songs?
Well, I liked So Blue. I Made It with Ty Tribbett. I think that's gonna be hot. Stay Up. That was also another song that's inspirational, so I like that one too. Lonely Legend. I love that.
Wow.
I love that.
Okay.
That was I think because I really saw the difference in her tone. That's what the one I said she sounded like Tina Turner.
Yes, she does.
I had to listen back to it again. I was like, oh my gosh. So it just showed. I like how she was just versatile in all of her songs. Of course, No Time for It. I like that song because don't nobody have no time for it. Those was a couple of my favorites.
Okay.
And I did like the Ugly song, and it was surprisingly, I was like, wow, go Fantasia. She did it.
Slick, did you have, I know you're not a big fan, but did you have any favorite songs?
Yes.
Okay.
I think No Time for You is, to me, the best song. I Made It is a great song. Anytime.
Yeah.
Gospel, man, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's why I just really hope she's listening. And Fantasia, the album wasn't my favorite out of other four you made or have done. I think you should do a complete gospel album because I think so many artists would love to work with her in the gospel arena. And I think she would do extremely well.
Yeah.
Her mom can sing gospel, so I think she would do extremely well. Ugly was a different song. It just complete off the radar. And it's just like, you just think that's a whole new person. You know, it was her,
Right.
with a soulful voice to cross tracks like that. So that was very creative. So I give her credit for that. Crazy was the up tempo song I thought was kind of different. I ain't gonna say a club banger, but it's just different.
Right.
But you can play it in some sports bar and somebody bob their head to it. And So Blue. So shout out to her now. If she got creative rights, you know, she did good for her creative rights. That's what she did.
And I'm glad Riggs, he mentioned it earlier, the writing, and that was one of the things I was more so disappointed about. She took a step back from the creative process. On her last album, Side Effects of You, she co-wrote 7 out of the 12 songs, and she didn't write anything on the previous 3 albums. And on this album, she only co-wrote 1 song, which was Roller Coaster. At some point as an artist, that's a part of evolving. That's a part of the artistic growth as an artist. And I was pretty disappointed by that. And Slick, to augment one of your points, she's probably one of the more widely accepted R&B artists who can actually step into that gospel arena and do things. Like, in my opinion, she's probably the most accepted. Like, people in the gospel arena, they love Fantasia.
And that song, I forgot to mention it. That is a dope song.
Yeah.
Which one?
I made it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good song. It really is a good song.
Yeah.
Man, you can hear in the end like they was.
They have some church.
Yeah,
on
they
it.
was having some church
Yeah.
up in there. I was like, oh
yeah,
man.
and she performed it on Good Morning America last week, and she
Oh,
just
she did.
yeah
I
she
have to go back and look at that.
yeah she killed it. She absolutely killed it. So yeah, and shout out to Ty Tribbett.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, who wrote?
He's a
and-
talent, too.
Yeah,
Yes,
he is. He is very talented. And my favorite songs were crazy. I thought the production was insane, and when I first heard it, I thought it was Timbaland, but the guy who produced it was
Yeah, it's
actually
Ken.
under Timbaland.
Yeah.
J. Rock Harmon, Jerome J. Rock Harmon. So shout out to J. Rock. I'm glad he was finally able to go out and
Yeah.
do his own thing. And When I Met You, to me, I think that's the perfect embodiment of where she is in her life right now. She went through so many bad dudes, and those experiences finally they helped her realize how great of a guy that she has now. So shout out to her husband. She speaks glowingly about him. Sleeping with the One I Love, which was produced by R. Kelly. That's probably one of the more ambitious R. Kelly arrangements I've heard in a while. In a way, I was surprised, but I wasn't, because that's right down his lane. Really, I mean, he's a theatric guy. he's a theatrical guy. So shout out to R. Kelly, and Stay Up with Stacey Barth on it. And Stacey Barth, who's amazing. If you hadn't heard Stacey Barth, please go check her out. And to me, I thought that should have been the first single, because it kind of has a Caribbean or that reggae influence undertone.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been perfect, because it fits in line with, when we talked about them all year, Work, Rihanna and Drake, and One Dance. I thought that would have been a great single for you. You got anything?
I mean, yeah, it would have, but then, she might not have wanted to keep going with that same formula, because I guess sometimes, okay, this one, now this one too, with the reggae joint, yeah, but it is a banger, and it would have made a good single. So, I'm just assuming that may be why she didn't choose it. Or
Well, she said the one she wanted to choose, the one she chose was Sleeping with the One I Love. And it's really reminiscent of James Brown's It's a Man's World. And she mentioned that in a lot of interviews herself. So
just a tidbit, like the song "No Time for It" on YouTube, she's got an acoustic version where it's just a guitar and a vibraphone. It's really tight.
did she sing it, or is
She's
somebody
singing
else?
it. That's her. Mhm.
Oh, I gotta check that out.
Okay. And she said that's the one that the label picked. And audience thought, in my opinion, I think this is an album of artistic integrity. And sometimes, we as fans really don't. Well,
Don't get it.
I consider myself more of a fan. I'm a music analyst. That's what I am now. But there's always a struggle between the labels and the artists. And you heard the interview earlier. She made the album that she wanted to make, and people tend to forget that record companies, they're in the business to make money, to sell records.
Right.
So Fantasia, she's gonna have to recoup a lot of money. I don't know how much they spent on this album, and I'm willing to, because Ron Fair, and the audience, Ron Fair is the guy who oversaw the entire thing. He had his hand in every track in some capacity, and he's a producer. He produced, just to give you a reference point, Mary J. Blige's 2006 The Breakthrough album. He produced some things on there. And Keisha Cole's first album. So to give you guys a few reference points. But Ron Fair, he's an amazing guy. She went with him, and they went and made the album that she wanted to make. So I don't think she'll alienate a lot of people, but there's the possibility that she could with this album.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing what it's gonna do, because I mean, it can go either way.
It could.
And I'm hoping it goes a way where it kind of draws more people. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. And I do want to mention D. Smith for all you love and hip hop fans. She actually produced Lonely Legend. Yeah, she produced and wrote that track. So all you love and hip hop Atlanta fans, if you know D. Smith, she produced that song. So I mean, she brought in some big names on the album, and I'm proud of Fantasia. I mean, she made the album she wanted to make. It's not one of my favorite albums.
Sorry you
But-
feel that way.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
There's a Mason Dixon line in the middle of the studio.
Right. There he is. Yeah, it's definitely not one of my favorite albums, but I'm proud of her. She made the album she wanted to make. I know Slick, out of everybody, well, Vaughn too. Let me ask you guys this: where does this rank among her albums?
Now, her first album was good. It was good. Now, I like to see people grow. I don't like to see the same thing. Like, so that's why I'm saying like this. I'm not gonna say it's better than the first one, because the first one she came hard with some, it really showed who she was. And people grow up, and I think she grew up. And now she's doing, different things. She's going in a different range. So yeah, she's gonna get to her gospel. I really do think she's gonna get to her gospel. So, but right now, I think she's just, I think she's gonna be okay.
But what do you rank this album compared to the other four?
I'm gonna rank it. I like it. I'm gonna say number one. I'm gonna say that.
Wow.
Number who?
Number one?
Her number one.
Wow.
Yeah, you heard it, audience. This is Fantasia's best album.
I ain't gonna say best.
But that's what we're asking.
That's what number one.
I know. But I'm gonna say right now, I liked it better than I like more songs on this one than I did on her last.
The last one, okay.
Yes. So right now I'm gonna say, yeah, this her best one. This one of her best.
One of her best. Okay.
One of her best.
Slick, what about you?
Out of this number 5, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this one at 5. But don't get me wrong, there's some good songs on there, but some greater songs on the other albums too.
Right.
And she definitely can't touch the first 3. That's just my opinion though. So I'm just saying, okay, if it ain't 4, if it ain't 5, it's 4. If it ain't 4, it's 5. It's right in there.
And I'm not disagreeing with you. The way I feel about Drake is the way I feel about Fantasia. I don't think she has a classic album.
Oh, this is definitely not. Oh, her first album was classic, Jay. I ain't saying classic where it broke the bank, but that debut album is always a good album.
And I think after American Idol, everybody was looking forward.
Right.
What is she gonna have?
Right.
So that's why that's so 10 times more.
And that's why I think too, like Vaughn said, I think that her first album we always on pins and needles to see what it's gonna sound like, and she didn't disappoint. And I think she did good in album sales too.
Well, the first album went platinum. The second one, the self-titled album, went gold.
Okay.
And
what year did that come out?
The first album. It was the first album was 04.
04, okay.
Yeah, went platinum. 06 was Fantasia, went gold, and 2010's Back to Me, which had the Grammy winner Bittersweet on it. According to RIAA, the Recording Industry Association of America, has not gone gold or platinum. She doesn't have a certification for that one, or the last one, Side Effects of You. Right. So she's not an artist that traditionally sells a lot of albums.
Right, because if you notice, you name all the albums, and they was getting less and less and less and less. And I think this one will be the last one.
And plus, when the first one came out, even though it doesn't seem like that long ago, it's a little bit of a different era as far as record sales.
Yeah.
And didn't Missy produce some tracks on that first and second album?
Yeah, Truth Is, Free Yourself, which were the best 2 tracks in his singles.
Yeah.
But in that album, she had a Rodney Jerkins leftover track. That Rodney Jerkins leftover track sounded just like whatever he gave to Destiny's Child. That Can You Keep Up? Dun, dun, dun,
but Jay,
dun,
all Rodney Jerkins beats to me sound about the same almost.
But that one was an exact carbon copy of what he gave Destiny's Child, which it wasn't fair to Fantasia.
Oh, of course not, yeah.
In her defense, she was probably giving that track. Jazzy Faye gave her a throwaway. The Underdogs gave her some good stuff, and it was somebody else that was big on that album.
So according to what you're saying, that the producer is not giving her justice of her talents by giving them tracks that she can get better tracks.
Right, exactly. And it's just what happens in the industry. People jump on trends, and then I think this is why this probably isn't her best album, but it's arguably her most important album, because it's all about artistic integrity. Right. She got to make the album that she wanted. Right. And she's never gotten the opportunity to do that. But I agree with you, though. It's definitely not her best album. To me, she's not an album artist. Her singles hadn't performed really well either. And just one jewel to throw out there to your audience. Fantasia made history as the first artist in history to debut at number 1 with her first single. She was the first artist in history to debut at number 1 with her first single, which was I Believe, which she sung on American Idol.
With American Idol behind you, that's not too hard to
do that. Yeah. And it was the number 1
And that's
hit.
when American Idol was hot.
When it was definitely hot. The third season. So I'm excited for Fantasia. I'm excited to see what comes next. I think that gospel album is next. Slick, will you be listening to it 6 months from now?
No, I won't be listening to it, but I do want to give some advice to artists who might listen to the show. I know you probably don't want to spend money on producers, but they are the key, Jay. You got to get that hot track and that great hook to promote your album. And the writing don't have to be great. People love hooks and beats.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
They
and
do.
I think you have those, you're going to have a good album.
They
Because
do.
that's what people are looking for. And like Rick said, I mean, I heard one of y'all alluded to that if you listen to it long enough, I think it was Vaughn, it'll grow on you. I think she do have some good songs. I ain't going to sit and just knock her down. Let's be realistic.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think it was her best work because I don't think she had the best producers that she had in the past that gave her that hit that just made you just want to play it over and over again. I think the only one of these songs I'm going to play over and over again is going to be the gospel song because we all need to carry our cross. So that's one song I know I'm going to play. I won't be playing Ugly. I won't be playing. Now, No Time for Me is a good song. I think I'll play that again. I think that's nice.
Okay.
But hats off to her.
Yeah.
If you want creativity and do it, boo. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And I hope you get to where you need to go.
Right. So,
I hope you're wrong.
so Slick, let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Should all artists have artistic control?
No, not all of them.
Okay. It would.
Because I think they'll get too loose.
Right.
Like a goose. You can't let the children run too far.
Uh-huh.
That's the reason why you put a fence around the yard.
Right.
Keep them in there. If you take the fence down, they're going to go in Junebug's yard. They're going to go in Grandmama Jones' yard. So I think you can have certain creative rights to certain things. Like if you go too far from left field, you need to pull it back in and say, look, we're not going to do that. That's a poor investment.
So, do you think this is exactly why labels have so much control when it comes to putting the product out?
I think going back to Chance the Rapper, I think he's doing it the right way. But he's making it, I think, with God because he's not having a major label to push him, and he's very successful. And he's going to go keep climbing the ladder. I do think that label do rape and rob. Rape is a bad word, but it robs the artist.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think they should stop robbing the artists and giving them more creative rights. If you don't want to give them creative rights, give them more money.
Well, that's not happening.
That's a lesser two evils. I mean, let's just be honest.
Yeah.
You can give me more creative rights or give me more money.
Right.
I'd rather give up my creative rights if you give me more money because they're the one that's pimping the artist, and she said it.
Yeah, they are.
The label is then the producers and the writers are pimping the artist, which is sad. So if you're gonna pimp me, just give me more money.
Yeah.
Then you can pimp me all day long.
That's right, so I won't feel so bad.
Absolutely. I don't mind you pimping me. What you want me to do next?
Yeah.
Just give me more bread. And I think Chance the Rapper is doing it the right way. Now, I don't know how long it's going to go with that, but he's doing it the right way.
Vaughn, what about you? Will you still be listening to it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's so blue. I love it. I like Lonely Legend. So I think I'll be listening to it.
Okay.
It's like, when you're in your mood, like I said, you pop in when you say, oh yeah, that song, Fantasia. I'll be listening to it.
Riggs, what about you?
Yeah, I think I will be. I even actually put a note on one of the songs. It's "Wait for You." When I listened to it, I was like, you know what, this one is gonna grow on me, and I probably listen to it a little bit more. As far as most of the other stuff, with the exception of 2 tracks, I could listen to. Yeah.
Okay, well, good job. Well, I guess that's the review. I'm sure we'll have more on in a second, but we got one more segment. We got help the audience build a playlist. What are you listening to? And Riggs, I'll start with you first. What you got this week?
I thought about you guys when I was listening to this song, and I was like, I heard, I think it was Saturday. I was like, oh, I gotta put this off of my what to listen to. Talib Kweli, Country Cousins.
Great song off of the Eardrum album.
Yes. Dope song.
Who was on that with him? Was it UGK?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a real nice song. I like that one.
And also too, vibing with you fellas and you, man. But also just being from New York here, everybody has that thing. Oh, here we go again, another New York dude. You talking about everybody from New York talking about this, that. Go back. But I don't feel like that. I love it here. I love my people here. So it's we got. I don't want to say country cousins. I'd rather say like Andre say we just Southern. So I got Southern cousins.
Just Southern cousins. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good song. Slick, you got one?
I got several.
Okay.
I'll make it fast.
Okay, go ahead.
That part,
Schoolboy Q and Kanye West,
classic.
which is on Schoolboy Q's album Blank Face, which we talked about it, just came out a couple weeks ago.
Nothing Can Stop Us.
Nothing Can Stop Us.
That's Fat Joe. Is that the name of the song?
Oh, All the Way Up.
All the Way
All
Up.
the Way Up.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
that's
another
my
part.
song.
Yeah.
All the Way Up. Fat
Yeah.
Joe and Remy Ma, which has been the hottest
All the way
rap
up.
song this year.
Yeah.
I was
That
locked in.
Nothing
Yeah.
can stop me.
and the last one is the ASAP Ferg song with Big Sean. What's that?
Oh, The World Is Mine.
That the level.
New Level.
New levels.
Yeah,
There
you did
go.
those last week, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it again.
Okay.
The little
There you
speakers,
go.
the speakers are blowing up. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, and Bond, what are you listening to?
I've been listening to Fantasia.
Okay.
Hey.
But when I do my shout outs, I'm going to tell you who else I've been listening to. But it wasn't just one song. So
And my song of the week is actually a song by Fantasia herself.
Wow.
It was on her second album, the self-titled album, Fantasia, and it's called 2 Week Notice.
Oh, yeah.
It's it's produced by who I think is her musical partner, her best fit musically, which is Missy Elliott, who is great. But the song is 2 Week Notice. It's about a ending relationship, and it's a metaphor for
Right.
a broken relationship. But that's my song. So we got 2 Weeks Notice by Fantasia. Slick, what were yours?
Go ahead, just go with that part since I had 3.
That Part by Schoolboy Q and Kanye West. Vaughn said the definition of album. And Riggs, Country Cousins by Talib Kweli and UGK. So that's it. You got 4 new songs. Well, 3 new songs in the whole album to add to your playlist. But guys, that's it. That's a wrap. So we can go ahead and shout some people out and we can go home. Vaughn, you got any shout outs?
Yes, I would like to make a shout out to y'all homegirl, Miss K. Michelle.
Hey.
Went to her show on Sunday night.
She didn't even invite us.
I'm sorry.
No,
I
I'm
got
just
invited.
playing, I'm just
Jay,
playing.
she probably want a little boyfriend.
Oh, I'm just
No.
messing with
Your boyfriend took you?
No, I went with my best friend, Miss
Same
Ursula.
thing. Same thing.
My best friend.
The
And
same thing.
Cause I told y'all before I was listening to K. Michelle. Her whole album. I was listening to More Issues Than Vogue, which I love it. But I really never listened to her other album. So I've been listening to her
Yes.
first one. That girl,
She tough.
she got a story.
Yeah, she do.
Yeah.
She got a story, and she sound kind of country. You know, she got that little kind of country type. I love her. I love her. I really got a newfound respect for her after I saw her show on Sunday night.
Wow.
She's back. And quick, before you go on, I just hate the fact that she's on reality TV because
I
And it
know.
hurts
she doesn't need it at all. Like
Right.
she's so talented
Yes.
and her music is so great. Why do she shouldn't be on reality
she
TV?
is wasting her time with that. She is wasting her time. But I really got a newfound respect for her, and because of I'm knowing her from reality TV, but listening to her music. But I was like, she really has more to her, way more to her than what
Yeah.
she's. So I would like to make a shout out to Miss K. Michelle, and my other shout out is to my mom.
Hey, Mom.
Thank
Hey,
you,
Mom.
Mom, for coming to the
Happy
penthouse
Mother's Day. Happy
with
Mother's Day,
us.
Mom.
We got Mom in the building.
Yes, and my boys.
Hey, boy.
Jamal Santana.
That's right. That's right.
Hey.
So, and to you guys, thank you for having me another week.
Hey.
Always
yeah.
enjoy you.
Hey.
You here now?
Ah!
Yeah. Riggs, you got any shout outs?
I shout out to my Switch Style podcast crew.
What up?
Yeah,
What
that's
up,
right,
Rick?
that's right.
Appreciate you, folk.
Tell them what you're listening to.
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh, the song you just mentioned,
2 weeks notice.
2 Weeks Notice. And I'm liking it a lot.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good song. That's what I was like.
Trendsetter. J Smooth, trendsetter.
Jay Smooth, yeah, when he tells you there's something to listen to, there's usually something to listen to.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Bad dude.
He know his music.
For
Yeah.
sure.
You have any more shout outs?
I just shout out to everybody who supports the Switch Style podcast. You know, everybody here, everybody's family, everybody that's positive and staying positive.
Okay, cool. And Slick Money.
Yeah, I want to shout out to Vaughn's mom, lovely, in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Always good to have guests at the penthouse, and her brother and son and nephew in the building, my 2 daughters in the building. It's just good to see y'all. God is good. Another week seeing everybody, let you know that God is good.
That's right. all the
Because
time.
somebody didn't see somebody last week.
That's right.
So just truly thankful. And to the greatest producer, the man that rocked the house,
That's right.
the man that put it together, my handsome nephew,
That's right.
Jay Jizzle for Shizzle my nizzle.
That's right.
Hey, that's all
Thistle,
about
but
it.
thistle.
The Skizzle, but just a little.
Yeah, let's get there. And a shout out to Stevie Wonder. We're gonna talk about you in sometime in the future.
Yeah. Shout out to
Love
Stevie.
Stevie. Love Stevie.
Yeah, we all love Stevie. Shout out to my crew, obviously. Thank you guys for coming every week.
Yes.
Slick, Riggs,
Thank you.
Vaughn.
Thank you,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you to everybody who listens to the show. We definitely appreciate your support. Can't talk. And thank you for making the Keith Sweat Show our highest rated show.
What?
Hello.
Wow.
Come on,
As of
somebody.
yet. So-
right.
Come on, somebody.
All right.
So obviously people liking when we do album reviews, and I guess they thought Keith Sweat's review was pretty amazing. So
Good love.
yeah. Oh,
I can't
good
sing.
love.
That's the number one song.
Classic album.
Yeah.
It's classic. Yeah, I didn't
Wow.
knock your classic on Fantasia. Don't knock my classic on
I
Keith.
did not just say that classic album. I ain't say
It's
nothing.
classic.
Yeah.
You won't do another one like that.
Wow. Well, we'll see. Again, thank you
Absolutely.
everybody who listens
you.
to the show. Everybody who's in the UK and Cuba and Sacramento, everywhere. People are
Right.
listening
Appreciate it.
everywhere. So
Thank
the show
you.
is really growing, and we appreciate the people listening.
That
Thank
means
you.
you're on your way.
That's what people
When
keep
more
telling
people
me.
listen, you are on your way.
Yeah, people
You
keep
gotta
listening.
stay professional. We appreciate your listenership and support.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do need something that says that. But
He
yeah,
kill me when he get in that third voice.
right.
But you're doing a good job, man. Great visionary.
Oh, thank you.
It's a true
And-
blessing.
Yeah, and I keep saying it, but thank you everybody for listening. I truly, sincerely appreciate it. Hopefully I get to meet everybody that listens one day, and thank you personally. But thank you to everybody who's in the penthouse tonight. Mom, Jamal Santana, Marvin, Uncle Slick said he looking handsome over there.
Yeah, I got a shirt inside his pants.
Yeah, you bad
I
boy.
know. I
Yeah,
said
you put
he
your
ain't
shirt
been
inside.
working today.
Yeah, you put your shirt inside. That's pretty sexy.
Wow.
See, I keep mine on the outside. He
Yeah.
put his inside.
Wow.
There's a difference.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But yeah, guys, that's a wrap on episode 19 of the Switch Style Podcast, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.